Our next story comes from the western edge of the Savu Sea and the unspoilt shorelines of Indonesia's Sumba Island. Here at Nihi Spa Resort, the local breed of Sandalwood horses help see humans on a path to healing and self-discovery as part of an equine-assisted psychotherapy program entitled Retreat and Conquer.
People just, in a very, very short time, start actually feeling that there's also this completely other side. They don't have to be the chief executive, they don't have to be the busy mom, they don't have to be anything. They just can really be themselves. And I think that, for me, is a really, really important thing. And Sumba and Nihi just gets people there really, really fast.
So the Sumba ponies are actually originating from the Mongolian ponies, so their DNA proves that, or has proven that. They came to the island through the spice traders many, many centuries ago. So the Chinese came in, took sandalwood from the island and exchanged the Mongolian ponies for that. So that's how the ponies made their way all the way from Mongolia to Sumba.
They're a very old breed. They are not to be compared to the Western horses who are bred for their athletic abilities or for their friendly or docile nature. These ones are bred for working. So they're bred in a way to work with the people on the land and to serve the people of Sumba for the pasola, for horse racing, and that way they are a family horse, a workhorse, and a racehorse.
Nihi Resort prides itself on utilising the natural horsemanship of local communities on the island.
Sumbanese, they have a very good approach with their horses. They're great horsemen. They start from a very young age on. Every kid in Sumba, every little boy has a horse from their time they can walk. They're the first time put on a horse. So their connection runs really, really deep. So you don't have to teach them a connection with the horse. They don't have a fear of it. They know, they understand a horse. We just help them to facilitate a better understanding of hoof care, of nutrition, and other things or tools how we can use in training with the horses.
So the team that I work with is 13 boys who are coming from the village. They're all locals. Some do not speak Indonesian very well yet because Sumba has its own language, Sumbanese. So they have to learn first Indonesian before they even learn English. And some of them can't read or write. They handle all the horses. I advise them on nutrition, on care, on tack, and how to care for them. They were used as a workhorse, and now they are more used as a teammate, a companion. They're not a slave for us. So they were respected as a teammate and as a friend.
Dr. Andreas and his program is quite a unique program. So you're put in a situation that is not your regular day-to-day situation, and you are going to work with something that's completely out of your control. And I think that's where the real therapy starts.
Equine-assisted psychotherapy is therapy where horses are used to facilitate a change program or an understanding program. Very much like our therapist would use clay and paint and paper. Horses are a technique and a technology to help people sort of understand themselves. And what could take a very long time in traditional psychotherapy actually comes to the fore very, very quickly within a sort of horse arena or within walking on the field or on the beach with horses. The Retreat and Conquer is for people who perhaps have already done some exploration of themselves, who are perhaps looking at furthering sort of self-care. But they're also for people who find themselves at an impasse in some ways. They feel themselves at the crossroads.
Horses make you feel unstuck. You feel freer, you feel that you've got agency in what you do, but at the same time that you can follow trusting another creature and being trusted from another creature. And this is what I've learned from horse therapy, that things can change and things are possible, even if they look very difficult at the beginning.
Retreat and Conquer is a 5-day retreat. We start by looking at, firstly, how do people keep themselves safe when they start unpacking? So we need to kind of learn how to behave in the moment, keeping ourselves safe, caring for ourselves. And while that's the same thing when you're on the beach with horses here at Nihi, that's the same anywhere in your life as well. How can we create a safe place to really start unpacking some of the things that perhaps are burdening us? How we do that? We release the horses onto Nihiwatu beach, and then they make their way up onto the hillside. The point of that exercise is that people can start making observations. They make observations about the horses, they make observations about themselves, and at that point, we then ask people to make some choices. Which horse would you like to work with today? Go and explore. Or indeed, perhaps, a horse chooses you. How do you recognize that? How do you keep yourself safe? And how do you choose something that is kind of nurturing for you?
I came with all these preconceptions. I came with these ideas of what it is and which horse I would choose. I had this idea that I would meet a horse, I would choose the horse. Well, actually, I think what worked out is that the horse chose me. But I realized that I had all sorts of anxieties about not being chosen or not being able to pick a horse that really wanted to work with me. But what it made me realize is that I can recognize that anxiety. And now I can recognize it. I can deal with it in a different way, and I think that's powerful. So the hillside here is symbolic of so many hillsides and mountains in my life. And I think that's just such a powerful thing to be able to recognize that.
Horses are very effective communicators with each other, and observing the herd here at Nihi and seeing how they interact. There's 27 horses. There are all the natural behaviors that we would expect from horses in the wild.
We try to keep them as a herd because that's where you bring their spirit out. It's like in a family, you know, everybody has their position in a family, and the same is with a herd. Otherwise, they're all individual characters. So we try to replicate as much their natural behavior and environment. That's why we let them out various times a day to go grazing on the hills completely free, no fences around. They know their facilities very well. They react, we whistle, they come back. I mean, they're like very big puppies in a way.
Observing that, spending some time just be still and actually see what happens in these herds really gets us to understand relationships and connections. This is about trust.
I trust you, I trust the horse that day. Oh gosh, I'm wobbly on the steps.
I think just be mindful of what, once we move the horse on, what's actually going to happen in your body. I think that's really the important thing. You're just letting go. Your task is to just get into the movement. And just all this anxiety that you're carrying around and all the rest of it, just let that go. So the human condition has three main dilemmas. How do I make sense of myself? How do I behave in relation to other people? And how do I make decisions? Where do I want to go? Ultimately, change is not possible if we don't let go. Most of the time, people stay stuck because they fear they're going to lose something. Day 5 is all about let this go. Just leave it behind you. Leave it with the horses on the island. They know how to deal with this. They know how to process it, and go and enjoy your life.
Horses have helped me emotionally big time. I can say now that I feel less stuck. I feel like I can do more. I feel like I finally adventured out my comfort zone, and I feel like I can do more. I can trust more.
And retreat and conquer, in the name, that's really what we're doing. We're not just retreating, we're actually also conquering something. And I think that's really special. You ready?
They just get back home. Oh, that's so beautiful to watch, isn't it?